For those that missed it, Tokyo Game Show 2019 happened, and they were showing off a lot of cool stuff, including that Final Fantasy VII trailer. One game that I wanted to talk about whose trailer came out during Tokyo Game Show was something that me and the rest of the Danganronpa fans all saw, and because I want this channel to be focused more on Danganronpa videos than anything else, I figured I should talk about it. Trailer for Death March Club came out, and it's got a lot of people wondering if it's going to be good or not, because it is Masafumi Tadaka's newest project, after he said he's not working on Danganronpa anymore. I should also mention that this review is entirely scriptless, so I'm kind of just eyeballing it here. Alright, here's the premise of the game. Stop me if you heard this one, okay? Alright, so a group of kids who are in a school get captured and forced to play a game where they have to sacrifice some of their friends. And this death game is being run by a devilish, childlike mascot. And while trapped in an underground facility with bracelets attached to them, they now have to escape. Oh, come on, they've even done that one before! It's a pretty interesting way to start the trailer. They're showing off, like, this weird kind of game that the game that they're in is based off of. Some sort of TV show that involves these really realistic-looking Japanese students all trapped in this game, and then it shifts over to the kids on the bus, and then that's where the game starts, where they get involved into an avalanche, and they get trapped in this, like, sort of like theme park circus area, and they have to find their way out. So yeah, the big difference between this and Danganronpa / Zero Escape is that it's a platform game and not a visual novel. So that's already a really different thing to take on in general. Because the other games were visual novels and they all played a certain way. There were a lot of text. There was a lot of reading. You really had to sit down and absorb all the dialogue the characters were saying. And now that you're in a completely different sort of environment with a new... Okay, well, the environment's not different, but, you know, there's a different style of gameplay that we have here. This isn't really like Ultra Despair Girls, where they're taking something and making it into a spin-off, because I think they're putting a lot more effort into making this game play around the playstyle. And by that I mean, they're making more of an effort to make this game really adapts the whole platforming genre. And where Ultra Despair Girls kind of just felt like a very clear spin-off that was trying to do something new, but they didn't put much thought or effort into making it a good first-person shooter. So this seems more promising. The art style is also very reminiscent of Pokemon. It really does look like the Pokemon models in the, the new Pokemon game on the Switch, and even the ones on the 3DS, just, you know, higher resolution and just, you know, more refined, I guess, which isn't a bad thing. These kids are all supposed to be in elementary school, so they're supposed to adopt a much younger look. It's a much different art style than that of the Zero Escape games and the Danganronpa games, despite the fact that there's very clear similarities between them all. Now here's where I start to get worried, because while looking at the gameplay trailer, there's a lot of very basic puzzle platformer type of things going on in this game. You push a block, you climb up the block, you jump on platforms, you leap yourself up to platforms. There's not a whole lot going on. There's like a little rail cart section where you push yourself, you know, along a rail. There's a tightrope section. There's not a whole lot of different platform variation going on in the trailer from what we saw. And that's a bit disappointing, because this is supposed to be selling fans who have, you know, played Zero Escape and Danganronpa on this new game. And I just got done playing all the Zero Escape games, and, you know, I'll talk about those later. But I enjoyed them all. I really like the Zero Escape games. And, you know, this game is supposed to sort of be like a combination of Danganronpa and Zero Escape, because they know that, you know, if you're a fan of one, you tend to be a fan of the other. I do like the environment. It's very gritty, it's very kind of creepy, but most of the gameplay is just watching these kids just running around from left to right, doing all this really basic platform stuff. It also kind of seems as if everybody's kind of split up into, like, teams, because you only see, like, you know, three characters, or three of the kids walking around in the gameplay environment. So you're not really sure where the other kids are supposed to be, I guess. Maybe one of your goals is supposed to find them. I imagine they'll have like a mechanic where you'll switch between different groups of the students in order to solve puzzles in different parts of the facility, and you'll have to have them all meet up and things like that. I think there's a lot you can do with this premise that the trailer really doesn't really show off. It wasn't really capturing me or selling me on this new sort of game, because there's just not much to go off of, really. We don't really know what any of the characters are like. Oh, and I'd also like to point out that there's totally a spoiler in this trailer that shows one of the kids has already died, so Good job hiding that. But hey, that kid's probably gonna be alive at the start of the game. There's no way they would spoil the actual story that early in a trailer. Also, the Killing Game mascot looks a lot like Knights. Anybody else see Knights? The wiki also likes to make it clear that these kids are not your average kids, and mysterious powers awaken within each of them throughout the game. I seriously have no idea what that's going to entail, but I can only assume that those powers are going to be vital to the gameplay and probably involve solving puzzles and other things in the game and whatnot. After all, this game has like 11 characters, so, you know, I imagine they'll all have different powers and things like that. Obviously, we all know who the main character is. It's the orange-haired boy that's seen running around in the trailer. It's the one whoever is playing the demo here is playing as. That's the main character. There's also a main female character with pink hair, so we can assume that those two are the most important characters in the game. Also, according to the wiki, you can only control the main boy character, Raiko, I think his name is, and two other classmates will always be following behind you. So yeah, maybe it is something where you have to, like, you know, find the other students. Like, there's different parts of the building and you'll have to rescue the different students, and you can switch them out whenever you feel like it to, you know, use their different abilities. They also describe as some of the students' powers are throwing lightning and throwing things. Okay, well, I mean, that's a power, I guess, so we already kind of know what sort of things we'll be doing to solve puzzles and riddles and stuff like that. Also pretty reminiscent from Zero Escape is that the game is split up into two different sections, one where you're solving puzzles and riddles, and the other one where you're experiencing the story. I thought this was already a pretty good structure that the Zero Escape games had, so I'm kind of glad to see this back. You know, don't fix what ain't broke. I also can't imagine this game actually having a silent protagonist, which it totally does. Raiko is confirmed to be a silent protagonist, which is really odd to me. Like, story-based games like Zero Escape were based off of the characters talking to each other and having lots of dialogue between them. There's some sort of thing that's lost if you have a character that's a silent protagonist, because they can't really directly communicate with the characters that's, you know, surrounding them. And this game is supposed to be focused on story, not just platforming, so having a silent protagonist there, I feel like, is a really shaky decision. I don't know, that just doesn't feel right to me with a game where you're supposed to be interacting with all these different characters. This game is also supposed to be 20 hours long, so I don't know how much of the story and the gameplay are going to be split up between those 20 hours. Are we going to get more gameplay or more story? I'm not sure. I'll have to play it more to figure it out. But it's just that silent protagonist thing that I'm not really sure if sits right with me. But in a nutshell, we don't really know much more about this game than what they kind of told us last year. We have a trailer now, sure, more telling us, you know, what the game is actually going to play like and look like and how it's animated, and it looks well done for the most part, but there was nothing about the trailer that really grabbed me, per se. If you're going to be a new studio that's supposed to be introducing this brand new game and you have a lot of talented people on board, I sort of expected more to grab me and immersify me within this trailer, but nothing was really doing that. Basic puzzle platform stuff are things I see all the time in indie games and stuff like that, and it's nothing really special anymore. And more importantly, there wasn't anything going on in the trailer that could really make this game stand out from all the other ones in its genre. Now, I don't mean to shit all over this game in this video, because I really don't want to do that, because like anybody else who likes the Spike Chunsoft games, I am going to play this and I am excited to see where it goes. There just wasn't as much in this trailer as I expected that was going to grab me and really get me to say, oh yeah, I'm going to pre-order this right the fuck now. Yeah, it's got cute characters, it's got cute gameplay, it has fine enough gameplay, just not enough to really show off what I think they're trying to get across. There needs to be more meat on its bones. There needs to be more here than just this basic puzzle platform stuff, especially since we don't know anything about how the story is going to play out. Maybe they should have done that. Maybe a small snippet from the story to just see what the cutscenes are going to play out like. Something like a character introduction to really get us to know what the personalities of these characters might be like. Lines of dialogue or something like that from these characters. We all know the main character is a silent protagonist, but I know for a fact the other ones aren't. But yeah, I really wanted to make this video because I wanted to talk about this trailer, because this is a game that I really want to look forward to playing. And I don't know, maybe I'll do more little videos like this for trailers that come out, because, well, they're a lot shorter than reviews. But I'll probably only end up doing videos like this for trailers that, you know, for games that I'm really interested or really grabbed me or really shocked valued me. I don't think I'd do a trailer for a game that I just really have no interest in. But yeah, Death March Club, it seems like it could be a promising game. It just seems like it's got some work to do. The potential is totally there, and if it has as many twists and turns and grasping plot twists as Danganronpa and Zero Escape had, I am totally on board and down to clown. We're not really sure when this game is supposed to come out, so they do have plenty of time. So if you're interested, you might want to check it out and maybe look forward to some articles or even some more videos on it, maybe when it comes out? I don't know. I'd love to really play this game just to make sure that everything I'm saying bad about it in this video is proven moot, but who knows? I'm looking forward to it, and I hope you guys are too. Hey guys, thanks for watching the video. If you're still here, consider subscribing, or even liking my Facebook page or my Instagram page if you want to see all my artwork. And hey, if you like these videos, be sure to keep out for some more. Thanks a lot.